I'm Mark Zucker, immediate past chancellor, and by virtue of that position, am chair of the elections committee this year. We have an exciting election coming up, having already endured the last uh, national election. And before we get started, I just want to remind everyone, for those of you who are on but haven't yet paid your dues, you will not be getting an online ballot unless you do pay your dues by tomorrow, November 21st. So please don't forget to do that and tell your friends and colleagues to do that as well. The ballots themselves will be going out on November 25th. And be sure that you check your spam filter as well as your regular inbox to make sure that you're able to vote. In this election, as you'll hear, only young lawyers will be permitted to vote, those who are members of the Young Lawyers Division, because we have a series of uncontested candidates at the board level and a contested election, I believe, with 12 candidates at last count for the Young Lawyers Division Executive Committee. So it's going to be super exciting at that level. And we're also lucky to have a wonderful group of uncontested folks who will be leaders of our board in the coming year. And so I'm just going to take a minute, give each of them a very brief opportunity to just introduce themselves, that is the uncontested candidates, and then we'll get to the real heart of this election forum to give you an opportunity, if you're able to vote at the Young Lawyers Division level, to really get to know these amazing individuals who are all competing for the 7 spots on the YLD Executive Committee. So without further ado, Christine, can you please introduce yourself and tell us what role you'll be holding in the coming year?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for your continued wonderful leadership. I am excited that I'm here to be unopposed as Vice Chancellor this year, and I'm going to be I'm Vice Chancellor-elect, we like to say, for next year, and I'm really looking forward to working with everyone. Good luck to everybody on YLD. Thank you for being engaged, and I will pass it on to the next person. Thank you so much.
We're excited to have you in that important position, Christine. Karima, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mark. My name is Karima Yelverton, and I'm also excited to be unopposed to be the secretary for next year. And I look forward to working with everyone. Thank you.
Welcome, Karima. Erin, are you on? Yes, I see.
Yes, I'm right here. Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Lamb. I am the current treasurer, just wrapping up my first year. I'll be treasurer next year also. And I'm just looking forward to helping the Bar Association continue to reach the goals of the strategic plan and some of the more long-term planning that we have going on with the association.
Terrific. And I don't see Josh Byrne. Josh, have I missed you somewhere? Okay. So yeah, Josh Byrne will be our assistant treasurer in the coming year. And then we have 4 incoming board members for now. Lakeisha Fields, are you on? No. Susan's shaking her head no. Gabby, I see you.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Gabby Outlaw, and I am so excited to be a member of the Board of Governors going forward due to the uncontested election, and I'm excited to work with the Bar Association for another year.
Wonderful. And Rhonda, I see you're on.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rhonda Fulginetti. I am so excited to hear all the new things that are happening with the YLD candidates. Congratulations to all of you. I'm the manager of legal recruiting at Buchanan Ingersoll. I've been practicing for about 35 years now. I'm aging myself, and I'm very excited after the November election that we had to take part in our Philadelphia board and get things back on track. So just no political pundit there, but just I'm excited to do the work we need to do. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark.
Well said, Rhonda. Thanks. And Kevin.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kevin Levy. I am running this year for Board of Governors. I've had the pleasure to be the immediate past president of the Philadelphia LGBTQ Bar Association and currently serve as the LGBT Rights Committee co-chair of the Philadelphia Bar Association. I'm also a member of YLD, so I'm looking forward to continuing to expand the representation of YLD on the Board of Governors next year.
Excellent. Thank you, Kevin. I also see that Rudy Garcia is on. He's our judge of elections. So welcome, Rudy, as well.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everybody. Good luck.
And now, without further ado, Joyce, why don't you take the helm and introduce yourself as the incoming chair of the YLD. Jordan Freeman is also on the current chair, and Joyce will be introducing each of the candidates and moderating our forum.
Thank you so much for that, Mark. Before I guess we start, my name is Joyce Adaluba. I'm an associate at Ritchie Tyrell Johnson & Gray. I am the incoming chair, so the chair-elect for YLD. And our current chair is here, and I want to give him an opportunity to greet our candidates. Jordan, if you'd like, please introduce yourself and tell us about your year.
Sorry,
Okay,
my
not
first
too-
time using Zoom. I apologize. Jordan Freeman, outgoing YLD chair. Yeah, we had a great year this year as far as the YLD was concerned. We got into the community a decent amount, and most recently we were able to do one of the things that I was most looking forward to, which was collaborating with some of the affinity groups and some of the other organizations outside of the Bar Association in and of itself and into the greater legal community. So we're always welcoming new energy, great energy initiatives, things that came to be. There was a few even non-CLE events that we put on and CLEs that we put on at Bench Bar. So, you know, if you have an idea that the big bars should support, we are the largest division of the Bar Association. So be sure to wield that power wisely. So thank you. And I look forward to working with many of you in the future.
So with that, I'd like to, I guess, give our current candidates an opportunity to introduce themselves. And I'd like to go in order of the ballot position. So if we can please start with Hermione, if you can introduce yourself. And I do have a timer that is going on. And I do not know if you guys can see that timer, but I'd like to give each candidate about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes to introduce themselves. So once we start, I'll start your timer.
Good morning. My name is Hermione Cadet. I am ballot number 1. I'm Haitian American, a first-generation college student and first-generation attorney. I attended Penn State Dickinson School of Law. I've been an attorney for 7 years. I'm currently a senior trial attorney at the law offices of Richard A. Steiger. In the past, I was an assistant district attorney. I'm active in various executive boards that serve the Philadelphia community, such as NOMO, which provides young people in the community with a safe space to develop positive life skills and nurture their potential to break the cycle of poverty. I'm currently chair of membership and programming for the Young Caribbean Professional Network, which is dedicated to creating access to education and economic opportunities for diverse students. I'm also chairperson of the District Attorney's Office Youth Aid Panel, which focuses on rehabilitation and prevention outside of the court system for young people accused of certain low-level offenses. I want to be a part of a legal committee like YLD so that I can continue to make meaningful change in our community. I want to expand on the current programs that YLD has by establishing more partnerships with schools. I want YLD to reach more young students, more students that look like me. Additionally, I care about aspiring lawyers and their professional development and extending YLD's mentorship program. I believe that YLD can go into law schools to speak to them about the benefit of joining YLD and also mental health, maybe doing one activity each semester to promote mental health and wellness for law students. I like what YLD is doing with community outreach. I want us to collaborate with other organizations and affinity groups to create a unified legal community. We should all support each other rather than compete.
Ooh, and Hermione, thank you so much. We'll have an opportunity to continue with more questions later, but what I'll do now is move on to the next person according to ballot order. And sorry for mispronouncing your name before, but Audrey, you're up next.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Audrey Melly Mirza, and I'm associate at German Gallagher Murtagh. I'm also a member of the Young Lawyers Division, Vice President of Communications for the South Asian Bar Association of Philadelphia, also known as SABA Philly, and the liaison for the YLD for the South Asian Bar Association. I've been attending YLD events since my time at Temple Law and have benefited tremendously from my involvement and from the opportunities for connection that YLD provides. As such, I feel it's my time to give back to this wonderful organization and to the Philadelphia legal community. I am proudly running on a slate with two phenomenal candidates, Ryan Murphy of counsel at McElroy Deutsch and Brooke Hurlbrink, associate at Fox Rothschild. If we're fortunate enough to be elected, one of the initiatives we plan on undertaking is called YLD Connections. YLD Connections will be tailored to law students and first or second year lawyers. Our plan is to pair an active, long-standing YLD member with a law student or young lawyer with the intention of providing them as well, providing them with mentorship as well as a direct pathway to networking opportunities. We feel this will increase continued involvement with YLD, as well as provide young lawyers with connection and opportunities for engagement in the community. Additionally, this past year, SABA Philly and the YLD were fortunate enough to collaborate for two different events, one of them being a crash course on CAST, which was co-organized by Paul Carrion and I, and the fall social last week. As an executive committee member, I really want to expand on these collaborative initiatives with affinity groups, with the goal of working towards a more diverse and inclusive community. Truly grateful for this time and this opportunity. I hope I can earn your vote, and thank you so much for your time today and for Jordan's great leadership this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. Next up would be Brooke.
Bear with me. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. Okay. Hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Brooke Hurlbrink. I am an associate at Fox Rothschild. As mentioned, I'm running alongside two other really amazing candidates, Audrey Melly Mirza and Ryan Murphy. One of the things that the three of us are really excited about is this idea of the YLD Connections Initiative, as Audrey mentioned. It's something that's really personal to me. The way that I first got involved with the YLD was by one of the other associates at my firm coming to me and kind of taking me by the hand and bringing me with her to one of the YLD's happy hours. And it's something that I'm really grateful for because I think that kind of networking can really be intimidating to first year associates, which I was at the time. And so she kind of helped bridge that gap for me. And I think it's really a testament to how effective mentorship can be in terms of upping enrollment and participation and also inclusion. I'm a first generation college student, first generation lawyer, and I went to college and law school out of state. So I didn't really have a professional network here in Philly when I first graduated and started practicing. But that's something that the three of us would really like to help future generations of lawyers with. And so on that note, Audrey, Ryan, and I would very much appreciate your votes. And thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, guys. You're keeping it brief. And so we'll move on to the next person, which I believe is Brandon.
Hey, thanks, Joyce. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brandon Millinghausen, ballot position 4. I'm an associate at Rieger, Rizzo, and Darnell LLP. I do a lot of things here in the commercial transaction space and complex litigation. I went to undergrad at Arcadia and law school at Villanova, and my experiences in law school really ranged. I was an intern at the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District, worked at an insurance broker, did clinic, all kinds of stuff. And then I clerked after law school in St. Croix in the judicial system down there. I work in Philly. I've been practicing here for a year and a half. It's been very exciting. And the Philadelphia Bar Association is very important to what I do. I've loved the networking events. They are always what I look forward to during the week. And they've afforded me the opportunities to do things like pro bono work with Philadelphia VIP, which was really exciting. I actually had an article in the Philadelphia Lawyer magazine and continue to do work with them. I also had the opportunity to learn trial skills with the Trial Academy hosted by Mark Zucker. Shout out to Leah George, who was my partner or co-counsel for that. But the reason I'm running is because I've always enjoyed contributing to the institutions that encourage professional development. I was involved in student government, which I'm sure most of us were in undergrad and law school. And then also I was on the honor board in law school. But, you know, as again, out of state, first generation lawyer, I had to build my own network, and the Philly Bar Association really allowed me to do that. So I'm really excited to get some initiatives together and bring people into the fold. And as a Jersey and PA attorney, I'm excited to maybe expand our network to them, because with the UBE, there's a lot more you know, interstate attorneys. So it'd be really neat to bring them in and expand further and continue what we have.
Thank you so much, Brandon. And so the next person we have, according to slate order, is Margaret.
Hi. Okay, I'm good. My name's Maggie McDonald, and I am a civil litigation associate at White & Williams. I am 2 years into law practice. I recently graduated from Villanova School of Law, and I'm excited to be running for the Young Lawyers Division Executive Committee because I'm a big fan of building professional community. I am currently on the Villanova Law Young Alumni Board, so I have experience planning and being a champion for that sort of mission in other capacities. I also, before attending law school, was a programming committee chair member of the Philadelphia Legal Marketing Association. So I just look forward to having the opportunity to planning similar sorts of events for the Philadelphia Bar and engaging in the Young Lawyers Division's mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie. And next, according to slate order, I believe we have a Sharnay.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Sharnay Sipley, ballot position number 6. I'm an attorney at Holland & Knight in the Exec Compensation and Employee Benefits Practice Group. I'm also an active member in the Large Firm Associates Committee with Philly Bar Association, and I'm an active member of the Barristers Association as well. I completed my undergraduate studies at Penn, and I went to law school at George Washington in DC. I'm running on a slate with 2 other amazing candidates, Hermione Cadet, who you've already heard from, and Beth Perez, who you will hear from later. My vision for YLD is to have a renewed focus on building a stronger sense of inclusion, community, and belonging with our Philadelphia attorneys. I will work to provide more mentorship opportunities and ways in which we can all connect with each other at different law firms, different legal organizations, and even governmental entities throughout the city. Another one of my goals, if I am elected to the executive committee, would be to do way more collaboration with our affinity groups throughout Philadelphia. I think there is a lot of enthusiasm. We all take great pride in our diverse affinity groups that we belong to. And I see no reason that we shouldn't collaborate more with barristers, Hispanic Bar, South Asian Bar, et cetera, to really tap into that enthusiasm there. And I also want to have way more initiatives where we're doing community service in schools, in unhoused communities, and really just tapping into more ways to serve. I hope you vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And next up we have is Adam.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adam Leisure. I am an attorney at Vanderveen, Hartshorn, Levin, and Lindheim in Philadelphia. Number 7 on the list. I'm also running with number 8, Abigail Gustafson, who can't be here today because she's actually on her honeymoon. So I'm also a member of the YLD, the Pennsylvania Bar Association. I'm on the executive committee for the Criminal End of Court. And why I really want to run is, as some people have said already, being a first generation attorney, I'm not really from here. I went to undergrad at Temple University, and that was really my pathway to coming to Philadelphia. But I'm from Scranton originally, so not knowing that many people in the legal community, the YLD has given that opportunity, as well as I also participated in the trial program that Mr. Zucker put on, which was a great opportunity to enhance your trial skills. And in regards to getting outreach for new members, I think it's imperative to do that in person. I handle a lot of criminal defense work in Philadelphia. I'm at the Criminal Justice Center usually 3 times a week. And there's a lot of young lawyers there in the district attorney's office, the Defenders Association, and in private practice. And being able to not just tell them to run, but tell them about the benefits of the YLD. All the philanthropic work we do, the networking opportunities, and just programs in general that could help them, have the same benefits that I've received throughout my time. So I think that talking to them and really going to each person after you're trying to get a good plea offer, and really advocating for not just they should join, but why they should join, will be important to increasing our membership. Thank you.
Great. And thank you, Adam. I know you were supposed to introduce a bit more about Abby, but just for the sake of us being able to answer questions, and maybe you'll be able to answer questions in lieu of Abigail being here, we'll move on to the next person on, according to slate order, which would be Ashley.
I'm not seeing Ashley on.
Oh, okay. And then, so then the next person I guess we have available would be Rachel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Sorrentino. I'm an attorney at Perez Morris. I went to undergrad at Newman University and then law school at Widener University, the Delaware campus. I've been more active with the YLD and the Bar Association this year, and attending the bar events has been really important to me. Again, as a lot of others have said, I'm also a first generation college graduate, first generation lawyer, and going to these events has been really helpful in helping to build my network, especially in the Philadelphia community. And I really think that improving mentorship opportunities is so important. In fact, I'm a mentor to a law student at my law school. So I would like to increase those opportunities. I think that the YLD could also do some mentorship programs with law students to help increase our membership opportunities. And, as a woman in the profession, I think it's really great to have these networking opportunities. And also, I'm not only just a woman attorney, I'm also a young mother attorney. And I think that having representation for young parents on the YLD and finding ways to have them involved in the community is also really important. And I hope to expand those opportunities in the next year. And I hope to get your vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And the next up would be Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth Perez. I'm the Director of Intake and Pro Bono at the Support Center for Child Advocates. I have been really involved in both the Philly and PA bar since I became a lawyer 5 years ago. I am the Zone 1 chair for Philadelphia for the Pennsylvania Bar Foundation, or Bar Association, and I'm a member of the Bar Foundation, as well as serving in a lot of leadership roles in the Philly bar. I'm also a liaison to the executive committee, so I've spent the last 2 years really actively involved with the YLD exec committee in that role, and I'm hoping to expand that and do a little bit more on the executive committee. As Charnay mentioned, I am on a slate with Hermione and Charnay, and we are so looking forward to your vote. I'm so excited so many people are running, because going to the events the last couple of years, it's great to see new faces and new people energized about being part of the YLD. I would love to move away from the idea of these happy hours. As Rachel mentioned, I'm also a parent, and make things family friendly, make things more generationally friendly in connecting the generations, the affinity groups with the YLD. As Jordan mentioned, it's the biggest section of the Philly Bar. And so if we can communicate and combine with the affinity groups, with different committees, I think we could just be a stronger bar association as a whole. So I'd appreciate your vote. And again, I'm on the slate with Hermione and Charnay. Thank you so much.
Great. And last but certainly not least would be Ryan.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Murphy. I'm of council with McElroy Deutsch. I'm also a proud alumnus of both Ursinus College as well as Rutgers Law School in Camden. I'm very excited to be running alongside two fantastic running mates you've already heard from, Audrey Melly Mirza, as well as Brooke Hurlbrink. I've been in practice a little over 5 years now, and for the better part of the last 2 or 3 years, I've been attending a lot more YLD events and been fortunate enough to sort of forge relationships and build relationships with current executive committee members and the YLD members at large. As a former collegiate athlete, I know the importance of teamwork. And when we're talking about the current YLD Executive Committee and the current Philadelphia Bar Association leadership, we're talking about an incredible team right now. And I feel it's time for me to kind of step off of the bench of just attending events and get in to be a part of that team and bring my talents, efforts, and passions to the team of the executive committee. I've been inspired, incredibly inspired by the effort and commitment of those already involved. Just recently, I joined a park cleanup through the YLD at the Schuylkill River Park. And that experience of giving back resonated deeply with me. It reinforced my desire to create more opportunities for us to serve our community, both legally and through hands-on initiatives. And that is why we are so excited to propose this potential YLD Connections program that, if elected, fortunate enough to.
Oh, and unfortunately, I think that was time, but we'll have more to talk about your initiatives as we go through some questions. So the way I'd like to, I guess, proceed with questions moving forward is I'll ask each candidate to use about 2 minutes to answer their question. You can either answer individually or on behalf of your slate. And only 3 people will receive the same questions. And then I'll move on to the next group that will receive the same question. So not all of you will receive the same question, but it should give you a fair opportunity to tell the bar about yourself and why you believe you are a great candidate for YLD Exec Board. So the next.
Joyce, you're on mute.
Joyce.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Again.
You muted yourself again.
All right, so can you hear me now? Not my first time on Zoom, but just technical difficulties on my end. So questions I have, some forum questions I have. They won't be the same for everyone. I'll try to diversify the questions. You'll have 2 minutes to answer your questions. So the first question I'll ask will be for the this particular group of people, and I'll let you know your new question as we go. So for Adam, my question for you is, in serving in its members, what do you think the Philadelphia Bar Association does best, and where do you think it needs to improve?
I think in what it does best would be put a lot of people together and give opportunities for them to meet and give their network an increase in the amount of people. I think in where it could improve would be getting, law students and getting more diversified and different people joining the organization, whether that be members of Big Law or members, like I kind of said, about the district attorney's office. And I think that sending out emails and being on listservs, is important, but there needs to be a personal touch that can make a difference in whether or not someone will, in fact, join or not. I think all the philanthropic acts that we do is great, and there could always be more of that. And I kind of said this in my statement that's posted, but we're the future of the legal community, but we're also the present. So it's important for us to be engaged and be active and try to increase membership and also make a change, because it's going to affect us in the current years, but also the future.
Great. And same question for Hermione.
I do agree with what Adam said. I do feel like the Bar Association is good at bringing people together. However, I feel like the Philadelphia Bar Association needs to be more diverse. We do have barristers, but I just feel like everyone that's a part of barristers should be a part of the Philadelphia Bar Association as well, because diversity is very important. And Philadelphia is predominantly Black, and I just feel like the Bar Association should mirror the community that it serves.
Thank you so much for that answer. And same question for Brooke.
Hello. I think one thing that it does really well that I can speak to like at the personal level is I think all the individual members do a really good job of making themselves available and taking the time out of their day to speak with you should you express an interest, or they might even go out of their way, in my case, to reach out to you and speak with you directly. So I think that's great because it naturally fosters a desire to get more involved. I think one thing that it could maybe work on is just adding maybe some more formal organization to some of its endeavors. That just takes a little bit more administrative efforts or administrative manpower, which.
Sorry, and thank you for that, Brooke. And lastly, we'll give the same question to Rachel.
Hi, I think that the Bar Association does a good job, like the others have said, at creating the networking opportunities. And anytime that I go to one, all of the individual members are very welcoming and willing to help or be available if you have questions. I think we can increase our involvement or presence at the law school level and reaching out to the young lawyers there to mentor them and bring them into the Bar Association. But it doesn't have to stop there. I think we can also have a presence in undergraduate colleges as well, maybe like their political science departments, try to reach people there that already are having an interest in becoming lawyers and showing them that it is an accessible route to go and becoming a young lawyer. I know that I was interested in it at the undergraduate level, but maybe was a little intimidated by, the barriers for entry, but showing more people that it is attainable.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And so our new question will be, and I'm going to start with Sharnay. What do you think is the best way to attract new lawyers to join the Philadelphia Bar Association?
Okay, I think that's a great question. One thing I think we've all, or at least a few of us have touched on, is really tapping into the enthusiasm at the affinity bar level. I've been to events hosted by barristers and the South Asian Bar Association. They're very well attended. People take great pride in their cultural groups, and people feel very connected to lawyers of a similar cultural background from them. I think if we can get more involvement from the boards of these different affinity bars to help co-sponsor events with us, then people won't feel like, if I'm a Black attorney and I attend a Philly Bar Association event, then I'm the only Black attorney in the room or one of very few. Like, we want it to feel like a diverse, welcome, and inclusive environment every time we have Philly Bar Association events. And I think the quickest way to get us to that point of making all of our rooms look more diverse like our city is to collaborate with our diverse affinity groups at the outset and really have more events together. And I also think we can work with the various large firms. I think we've all noticed a lot of the large firms don't come to events as much, people at the bigger Philly firms, maybe we can collaborate and find ways in which maybe it's the timing that we're having events that don't really work for big law attorney schedules. Like, let's get a little bit more creative to try to attract different groups. Maybe asking one of the big firms to host an event so then their lawyers can just pop down to a conference room, something like that. So definitely getting more creative to tap into the groups that we notice don't attend as many events.
Thank you so much for that answer. I'm going to ask the same question of Maggie.
Hi, I think there's been some great ideas thrown out already. Another way to promote more involvement, I think, could be reaching out to our various law school alumni groups and people in the Philadelphia community. And along Chardonnay's ideas of promoting the involvement of attorneys at different sorts of firms and organizations within the city. Maybe another idea could be getting creative with where the events are hosted. So asking firms to host or organizations to offer up their event space for networking opportunities. And yeah.
Thank you, Maggie. I appreciate that. And lastly, Beth, same question.
Thanks so much. I think everything that's been said, I completely agree with. I think the creative events is a big sticking point. I think kind of skill building would be a way to attract a lot of new YLD members through pro bono, particularly. I mean, I have a vested interest. I am the director of pro bono for my agency. And I have just seen a lot of young lawyers really thrive with pro bono and advance in their careers. So I think just stressing that and providing opportunities for young lawyers to increase that and networking would be a huge factor. Thanks.
And I know I said lastly, but I just want to give this slate an opportunity to answer this question as well. So Audrey, how would you respond to that same question?
Absolutely. As Beth said, I agree with what my co-candidates offered. I think what I could add to that is just the importance of listening to our members and engaging with them on an individual level. Just at an event a couple weeks ago, I was told by a member that he wanted more in-office work and networking opportunities. And so I think a way of thinking about this creatively is to maybe have luncheons instead of happy hours or after work events to kind of cater to people's different schedules and different desires and how they want to network. I also think this kind of supports my slate's initiative of YLD Connection, which we really want to get the young new lawyers and law students engaged from the jump so that it's a more streamlined process. Because I think what I've seen is that the level of involvement starts really at the second or third year. So if we can grab and connect with people from the law school stage, like I was connected to YLD at, I think that will very much so connect us and increase involvement. But yeah, everything that was already mentioned, I support, and I'm excited for the opportunity to potentially work towards this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And this last question, I'll give everyone a minute and 30 seconds to respond to, but I'll go in the reverse order of your current ballot position. So starting with Ryan and going up. So my question for everyone is, we've talked about the importance of outreach and community outreach. So for each candidate, how do you believe the Philadelphia Bar Association can become a more dominant player in the life and well-being of the city? And starting with Ryan, and I'll give you your time here.
Joyce, first of all, thank you for that question. It's a good one. And we are certainly here in Philadelphia afforded a great opportunity in such a large atmosphere to do good, to go out and do good in the city. And I think it's a great platform in the Bar Association and within YLD to do so. I know that we've been out in the schools in the past. Just last week, I think I saw an example of that. I think that's all great community outreach. The mentioning I had earlier of the park cleanup, another great example. But even beyond that, I mean, we have professional sports teams here. We have ample opportunity to kind of get out. And I really do think that starting in the schools is tremendously important. Even at a younger age than just law school, of letting people know, contrary to what we may hear on a daily basis about going to law school isn't a good idea, that it is a good idea, and that there's a lot of good done both in the law and by the people who practice it. And I think certainly if my slate was elected, Murphy, Melly Mirza, and Hurlbrink, we'd hit the ground running with the YLD Connections program in that vein. And I'm thankful for everyone's time today, and I do ask for your vote. That's 2, 3, and 13, Murphy, Melly Mirza, and Hurlbrink. Thank you.
All right. And so next would be Beth.
Hi, thank you. I think, I'm not going to get political, but in the current dynamics of how things are, I think our youth in particular are feeling this election really hard. And I think as attorneys, we have a duty to listen to that and to stand up and use our skills on behalf of our community, whether that's going into schools, high schools, elementary schools, talking about what being a lawyer is and what rights they have, and especially working with those youth whose rights are being threatened, those in the LGBTQ community, youth of color, and talking about what that may look like and who to turn to, whether that's pro bono agencies, whether that's attorneys who can offer pro bono services when those rights may be threatened. I think our work goes beyond just building networks and increasing kind of visibility. I think it goes on taking a stand as young lawyers. And I think in creating that safety net of knowing as youth, not only that they could help make change, but who to go to have those opportunities, I think is really, really an important thing. So I just want to stress that. And again, I'm on the slate with Hermione and Charnay, and we would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. And Rachel, if you're here and ready to go.
Hi. Yeah, thank you for your question. I think it's so important to give back to the local community and get involved. There are so many charitable organizations that we can partner with, get involved with, host joint events with them. And like everyone has been saying, I think getting involved in the schools is so important, not just law schools or undergraduate, but high school, elementary school. There's, youth court programs we could help initiate in local schools and, volunteer to be the judges for, or, just tutoring or mentoring students. I think it's just important for them to, meet and know lawyers and know that it's, an option if they want to pursue that path as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Next up would be, I don't know if Ashley ever showed, but if you are here, Ashley, let us know. And if not, then the next person would be Adam.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the easy answer would be to have more events and have different type of events. But not only is it, if it's a soup kitchen or clothing drive or anything like that. I work at a smaller firm, but we have 15 lawyers, and it's talking to our attorneys in the office, seeing if they could not only, they could additionally donate things. Talking to family members, talking to friends, getting it out there more, not just to individually for us to do it, but if you're at a big firm, send it out and talk to other people. So trying to get a wider range of participants, as well as doing the VIP work and pro bono services is great. Law Day on May 1st, maybe doing more, just informational sessions to really try to give back and help people.
Wonderful. And Charnay?
Hi. I wanted to first say that community service and giving back to the Philadelphia community is very important to myself and the members of my slate, Hermione Cadet and Beth Perez. We talked about that as one of our main pillars. So I wanted to first let you all know that. I think we should look at different issues that the city is suffering from and think of initiatives we can do each year to help tackle that issue, right? So we have a large unhoused community in Philadelphia. So what if, you know, 1 or 2 Sundays we go to a homeless shelter or a soup kitchen and serve as a collective, but we're giving back actively to members that really need our assistance in the city. We have a lot of Black and brown men, unfortunately, with criminal records in Philadelphia that are seeking employment, that if we had something like an expungement clinic, we could help, you know, clear their records and help improve their chances of getting better jobs in the city. I think all the time about how a lot of our urban centers throughout North Philadelphia, West Philadelphia are in fact food deserts, but there's a lot of organizations already working on that with urban gardens. What if as a member, we get together on a Saturday afternoon and volunteer at an urban garden in North Philadelphia? So kind of just looking at it from a perspective of these are the issues our city is facing and what can we do concretely to help get back? Thank you.
Thank you, Sharnay. We appreciate your response. And next is Maggie.
Hi, I think to answer this question, I would like to discuss the enormous breadth of opportunity there is in Philadelphia for lawyers to become engaged in civic service and giving back. I know my firm, White & Williams, is involved with the Philadelphia Homeless Advocacy Project and the Innocence Project, to name a few. So I think as a preliminary way from the Young Lawyers Division perspective to get involved would be to augment the discussion about these sorts of opportunities and do so in a way that gives people an understanding of what that involvement would look like or require. So for instance, if time was a barrier, we could partner with the organizations that provide the more discrete opportunities that lawyers can do in, you know, an hour's time. Or if it's a matter of interest, like other candidates have been saying, we could marry the opportunities with networking or more social events and start small and hope to go big. Thank you.
Thank you for that response, Maggie. The next person we have up is Brandon.
Hey, thanks, Joyce. So to get back to the root of the question of what the YLD can do to remain to ensure that the Philly Bar Association remains a powerhouse in Philly and continues to grow, I kind of had 3 ideas that I'd brainstormed when I decided to run. And one event kind of inspired the first bullet point last week, which was the affinity group networking event with the South Asian Bar Association and the YLD. And that was at a different space. It wasn't at a bar, it wasn't at, you know, a happy hour area, but it was at a very collaborative space. And there's one in my building called Cyto. So I think reaching out to those particular collaborative spaces would also allow those particular affinity groups to network within the YLD and other businesses. And then the Center City Business Association is another awesome organization in Philadelphia. And to kind of echo what Maggie said, there's a ton of opportunities within the city. And as the YLD can be a conduit with the affinity groups to bring them into those events, I think that would be a really good opportunity for business to grow and for the Philadelphia Bar Association to grow. And then, of course, I kind of said this in my opening statement, but we're now a UBE state, so there's a ton of New Jersey and Pennsylvania lawyers. So making sure that they know that the Philadelphia Bar Association and the YLD is a place they can come to grow and getting that message out.
Thank you, Brandon. Great use of your time. And next up, we have Brooke.
Hi. So as we all know, Philadelphia is a big community. It has a lot of different sub-communities. And I think it's most likely that everyone has an area of the community that they feel particularly tied to. So I think it would be really great if the Bar Association at large could kind of empower its members and its committees to organize and do work in the different areas of Philadelphia that they feel really passionate about. I just think that when people are passionate about the work they're doing, they do really good work. And in this way, a lot of different communities could have the benefits of everything that the Philly Bar Association has to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Brooke. And lastly, we have, oh, sorry, not lastly, but second to last, we have Audrey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you for this amazing question. It's something I actually personally think about a lot. I just think as attorneys, we are inherently in positions of power. So community involvement is really important. You know, yeah. I think to be a dominant player in the life and well-being of this city, I think it starts with, like, as everybody mentioned, community involvement. I want to get more service activities up and going, like the Schuylkill River cleanup, like Paul going into the schools and engaging with those young students. So I want to just continue that great work and keep that going. And additionally, an idea that just came to mind with engaging in non-lawyers in the city is to maybe when we are out in at a school or at a facility, we open it up to some members of the public, and maybe we could figure out how to screen this and kind of just say meet Philadelphia attorneys and engage and have an event that welcomes this kind of discussion and collaboration. Obviously, this idea has not been fleshed out, but those are things that I am willing to work to do along with these amazing candidates that are running this year. So again, if we would really appreciate your vote Murphy, Holbrink, and Melly Mirza. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Audrey. And last but definitely not least, but thank you for starting us off and ending us. Hermione, please.
Yes, the Philadelphia Bar Association can become a more dominant player in Philadelphia through community outreach and just reaching the youth. The youth are 30% of our population, but 100% of our future. I'm glad to hear multiple candidates place emphasis on the importance of getting in the schools. I personally love Career Day. I think it's important for the youth to see and hear from young lawyers like us so that they can know that they too can become lawyers and make an impact in their communities. Like, let's get in our community and get our hands dirty. Let's participate in community food drives, clothing drives, clean up. Let's serve our community. There's a lot of opportunities for us to give back. And I am running on a slate with Charnay Suplee, ballot number 6, and Beth Perez, ballot 12. The three of us are dedicated to service, and I hope that you will vote for us. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate your time here today and your ability to be present and answer questions for all of your constituents who will be voting for you guys come election day. So I believe there's information in your inbox already. I'd like to either turn it over to, I don't know if Susan Knight is on here or if Mark is on here, if they want to give you more directions about how to vote and how to participate in this upcoming election. But if you're here, I'll turn it over to you now. Thank you guys so much today.
Happy to do so. I just, again, wanted to express our appreciation for the really thoughtful, insightful comments that were made today. It's clear to me that these candidates are superlative. So that's exciting. In terms of the ballots, again, a reminder, if you want your friends and colleagues to vote and they're not members of the Young Lawyers Division, but are qualified to be members of the YLD, make sure that they pay their dues by tomorrow in order to receive an online ballot. The online ballots will be going out on November 25th, just 5 days from now. And also remind those who will be voting to just check their spam filters or to put in an exception to the spam filters for Bar Association emails so that they will go through. Susan, do you have anything to add?
One thing I just want to add, and I'm sorry, I was informed right before and I just sent out to everybody that Grace Mannix has pulled from the YLD EC election. So there's only 12 candidates. So it will change anybody that was under your ballot position number. I just resent it to everybody what your new ballot position would be. I know I heard some people saying what their ballot position was, and I'm very sorry about it. It was obviously unforeseen. It just happened. So I did want to get that information out to all the candidates as soon as possible so that you knew if your ballot position changed.
Thanks, Susan. And Joyce, you did a magnificent job as moderator. Really very, very thoughtful questions, and you kept it moving, kept the timing right. All super impressive. So thank you all. Tell those who are interested in hearing more that this will be available on the Philadelphia Bar Association website, so that if they want to learn more about the candidates, this forum will be available to them. Thanks again and have a great day.